don't think we're anywhere near yet a cross-party consensus on how to deal with waste, and part of the trouble is how the environment, in inverted commas, has become a highly politicised issue. It's become a matter of political ideology, with some people in politics defining their agenda almost against environmentalism, whether that's greenhouse gas targets or recycling targets, or the way in which we protect nature in the wider countryside. That is a disastrous position, and I'd encourage ministers and indeed MPs of all persuasions to be thinking long term about the future health of our country, whether it's going to be a nice place to live, where the real sources of prosperity, jobs and competitiveness will be in the future. And actually, I think if you look at all of those broader questions, you'd be very unwise to assume that a non-green future is one that we can embrace in any way. The future we need to be looking toward is resource efficient, it's clean, it's a nice place to live, and it's one rich in jobs and new technologies that are driven by those environmental priorities.
I don't think it's that political. I think that there are some sort of highlights that are political, but fundamentally it's much more mainstream as an issue, and I think we just need to come to the right solutions.
I think we're working towards agreed situations in a number of aspects of individual behaviour, and I think that's encouraging. But everybody's got to realise that waste is a very important topic, particularly in local elections, and it may be that we need to ensure that it's considered at national elections as well, and that might ensure that political parties come together and have a much more uniform approach to it.
Well, I think it's totally possible. There are councils up and down the country that are achieving 70% already. There's councils already well exceeding 80% in Europe. So 70% shouldn't be seen as a difficult target. But what's happening at the moment is there are some councils which have invested heavily in energy from waste plants, and as a result their recycling rates have stopped going up and they're starting to flatline. What we need to do is to continue to invest in better recycling collection service and actually better use of the recyclers, turning them back into products, which makes sure the recyclers have high industrial value, which then creates more incentives. So if we can achieve 70%, it's not a problem. But the government needs to provide the level of support and the level of consistency across the UK such that it's seen by councils not as a target to aim for, but the first target to exceed and then move on.
There's a big job on the behaviour change side, but there's also a big job in increasing the capacity of councils that are not doing such a great job.
I think for me is having a sensible system of collection of different waste streams so that individuals can actually play their part and can be encouraged and motivated. Now sometimes that might take the place of financial incentives, and I think we've got to look at that very carefully.